Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Megan.
Welcome to the Grimdark Diaries.
We're your geek gal pals obsessed with true crime and all things dark and disturbing. So, Nikki, I came home from work today and I had a lovely letter in the mail from my benefits insurance company. So, I have a tooth in the front of my face. So, my front
Where?
tooth.
Oh my God.
I know.
Do you have teeth elsewhere?
Yes, in the back
We-
of my face.
Oh my God. This is a much bigger discussion than I thought it was going to be.
I just like to throw in a little twist here and there.
Are you like that? Isn't there some kind of horror movie about a girl that has teeth in her nether regions?
What? Oh, maybe. It sounds
There's
like
a horror
something.
movie. I'm pretty sure it's called like something. What's the French word for teeth? Dante? Like el dente? 'Cause
Yeah,
isn't
something
that,
like- Oh, yes. Yes, I've heard of it. Yeah, it was like El Dante something.
Yeah,
I did hear
she has
that.
some jagged teeth
Yes.
in her
Oh, no.
between me down there's.
Okay, that's
Is
absolutely.
that what you're coming out with right now on this podcast? Are you admitting that horror movie was all about you?
This is absolutely not what I'm referring to. Yes, my insurance will not cover removing the teeth from my
No
nether
plastic
regions.
surgery?
No.
Wow.
That's true. I know.
Wow. So you're just going to live with it? Proud of you. You know what? Own
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'll find somebody who is, willing to deal with the teeth down there.
You could make an OnlyFans, and I bet you would make a good chunk of money. There's hey, I'm never going to yuck a yum, and I'm sure that that's somebody's yum.
I mean, it very well could be, and kudos, but that is not what I was about to say.
Oh, sorry. I
It's okay.
completely derailed you. Please continue.
It's okay. Very quick, condensed version. I actually had a rollerblading accident when I was 15 or 16 years old, and I knocked my two front teeth out. And one of the teeth I have a crown in. And recently I've discovered that the crown pole, so whatever's like holding the tooth on, is fractured. And it's actually causing a little bit of infection, and it's pushing my tooth down. I have nightmares that it's going to fall out one day. And I'll just be a toothless person walking around. Anyway, so I met with my dentist, and she told me that there was a procedure that I could have done. And basically I'd have to get two teeth on either side of it root canaled. And then the front tooth that's actually affected, I'd have to get a crown replaced for it. And I got them to send off a letter to my insurance company to see how much they would cover. And I got the letter back today, and they will cover 0% of it.
Ouch.
The price is $2,700. And I'm like,
Very ouch.
Yeah, that's cool. Can't afford groceries for the week, but, I'll just pay $2,700 to fix my mouth.
That lower crotch mouth OnlyFans isn't sounding too bad now, is
No,
it?
it really isn't. You're right. Maybe that'll make me the money I need to pay for
Yeah.
this dental surgery. Man, just crazy. It was an infection and like an actual fracture in the pole, so I just assumed that my insurance would cover some of it, but nope, Zippo. So that's super fun news I'm dealing with right now.
So what you're saying is now is a great time to make a Patreon.
Yes, actually, it would be a perfect time to make a Patreon.
Not only would you be supporting the podcast, but you'd be helping Megan fix her front tooth.
Yes, please. I feel like a doofus every time I smile with my mouth open now, because it's just like it's so much more noticeably down lower than the rest of my teeth. So I'm just like, whatever, maybe I'll just smile with my mouth closed from now on.
We'll just get you a pair of like Halloween store vampire teeth.
Could I? Vampire teeth? Yes.
Yeah.
I would absolutely wear those around, always. Yes.
That
I'd
could
like
be
the
a whole
ones that
other
you actually like
OnlyFans.
glue on so that they're...
I have those.
Do you?
Yes.
Because they look more realistic.
Yeah. Well, they have cool ones now where they come with like the individual vampire teeth, and then they come with a putty, and you heat it up and you push it inside the tooth, and then you push it up onto your what is that, the incisor where they go?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That tooth. And then you hold it for however long it is, a minute or something. And then when you take it off, it creates a mold to your tooth and it dries.
Oh.
So you don't actually glue them. You just pop them in. And because they're molded to your tooth, they stay on.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's very cool. That's what, when I had that vampire party at my house or my old apartment.
Right.
That's what a lot of us had, was those ones, because they just
Cool.
mold. And then you just take them out and reuse them. So anytime I want to use them, I just pop them in and they fit on my tooth.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You'll have to show me where you got them from.
Yeah, Halloween store. They're really cheap. I think they were under $20.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, so just put a vampire tooth on your front tooth.
Yeah, on my front tooth. I would be so terrified that if I try to pull it off, my front tooth will just pop right off.
Oh my god.
I don't think I'm at that level of scare yet, but I just have like this horrible sensation and nightmares basically that my front tooth is going to fall out. I'll super glue it back in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Being an adult is rough.
It is. I agree.
I had not a stressful adult moment, but I applied for a new passport today because mine expired, and because of COVID and everything, now you can't go into the passport office. You have to mail in your application. Mm-hmm. And I had to, instead of just renewing, I had to get a whole new one because my last name changed because I got married since my last one.
Right, yeah.
So I basically had to fill out a whole new application, and I had to do obviously all my personal information, and then I had to submit photocopied of my driver's license and then a photocopy of my marriage license to prove my last name changed.
Right.
And then they had me submit my actual birth certificate. They would not accept a copy.
What?
So I had to put my birth certificate in the mail.
Oh my gosh.
Along with, you have to pay for this. So I had to write my credit card information on the paper. So basically, this is an envelope of everything to steal my identity.
Seriously, though.
And it's the only way to do it now.
Did you send it I would send it registered mail.
Oh, you better believe I did. I went and I didn't know what to say. I went into the post office today and I was like, I had everything in an envelope and I was like, I need to send this envelope as securely as humanly possible. And they were like, okay, so what do you want to do with it? And I was like, I don't know how mail works. Please just help me. I need this to be as secure. I was like, I needed to go from right here on this desk to in a person's hand.
Yes.
What do I pay to do that?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, what is it? And I said it was a passport. And they're like, oh yeah, we do that all the time. Here's this like express post courier thing.
That's not registered mail though.
Yeah, it's registered. Like it's
tracked.
tracked.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah, so it goes express and somebody delivers it within 2 days.
That's
like
still different than
hand-delivers it.
registered mail, though. Registered mail, though, is a seal that goes over everything on the envelope, and it's like a government-issued red seal label, and it has to be signed off on by the person that you're sending it to. So
This has to be signed off on too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You pay for the signature, so it has to be signed off for them to accept it.
That should be fine.
I mean, I sure hope so, because every single thing to steal my life is in that envelope.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, and I had to send my old passport with it too. So literally it is just an envelope of everything about my life.
Is that one expired?
Yeah, it expired in like 2018 or something, or 2015.
Right. They'll destroy it. You won't get that one back.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little intense. Hopefully you hear something ASAP.
Well, the thing they said is that the timeline they give you is 20 business days, and they say you're not allowed to contact them until 20 business days have passed since you sent it.
What? Oh, so you're just like waiting in anxiety for 20 days.
Yep.
20 business days, so that's like a month.
Yep, it sure is. So
well,
that's
just
great.
Put all your faith in the higher power.
Yeah, I'm sure that won't affect my anxiety at all.
No.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
And I won't stress about that every single day until I receive my passport back in the mail. Also, in my picture, I thought I was looking pretty cute when I went to the photographer. I was like, I'm going to put some makeup on. I'm going to curl my hair. So this is going to be like a cute passport picture. And I checked myself in the mirror and I was like, yep, I'm looking pretty cute. And then he hands me the pictures afterwards. And I was like, wow, I literally look like I'm dying in that. Thanks. It's bad.
Is it black and white? I think.
No, it sure isn't.
It's color. Oh,
yeah.
man.
And I think it's because I needed a passport picture fast, and Walmart does them, and you just pay online and then you show up and they take it right there. Like, you don't have to book an appointment or anything.
Perfect.
Right. So I went into the little photography studio in Walmart and they were like, oh, no, you just go to the electronics counter. I was like, excuse me?
What?
Yeah. So I went back there and they took my picture against a wall with just a digital camera.
Wait, that's
So I had like Walmart fluorescent lighting. And I look like I haven't slept in 100 years in the picture.
Wow. I guess they decided to take that away from the people who did. Because I actually had mine done not that long ago. I want to say like 2 years ago. And I had mine done at Walmart as well. And they did it in the photo booth area.
Yeah, not anymore.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate for you. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so that'll be my passport for 10 years, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's only the customs agent that needs to see it anyway.
It's true. Mm-hmm. Well, it is time for some crime. Are you ready?
Yes, give it to me.
So my theme that I rolled for last week was survivor goals.
Oh, yeah. Palate cleanser.
Yeah, this one is, I mean, you're going to get your palate a little dirty.
Of course.
But the ending is a nice, clean palate.
Okay. I'm looking forward to the roller coaster you're about to give me.
Yeah, I'll give trigger warnings because there's going to be some pretty grody stuff, but it's a happy ending. Okay. We like happy endings.
Yes, we do.
Today's case is going to take place in Port Elizabeth, South Africa in December of 1994. That was a big year. Amazon was founded that year. The first PlayStation dropped that year.
Heck yeah.
Even more exciting, the Lion King movie was released that year.
Oh, that's when my love for Jonathan Taylor Thomas started.
Oh my God, I was in love with Jonathan Taylor Thomas too. I had his poster on my wall that I got from a Teen Bop magazine.
Oh, I had many posters of him on my wall and in my locker at school. It's because his birthday is the same day as mine.
Is it?
September 8th, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Did you watch Tool Time with him too?
Of course, every time it was on.
Same.
My dad loved the show, so it was on anyway, but I was like, I love it for a different reason.
Yeah, I was so excited when I found out that was him in Lion King. I'm like, oh, well, I'm in love with Simba now. I'm in love with the lion.
Right, same. I used to go for walks with my mom and listen to the soundtrack on my Walkman. Nice. And that just kind of ages me a little bit, but yeah. And then I would like dream that he was singing to me in those songs.
Did you dream that it was Simba or that it was Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
No, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, baby.
Hilarious. I know, right? But he doesn't actually sing those songs.
Are you serious?
I found out he didn't actually sing those songs. Yeah.
Well, you just crushed all of my childhood dreams.
Sorry.
Thanks for ruining that.
I'm so sorry.
Lion King was actually the first movie I saw to drive in theater.
Oh, fun. That's awesome.
I remember being really stressed that I was in a car, and I don't think I really enjoyed the movie.
Oh, really? Stressed that you were in a car, or why?
I don't know. I don't deal well with change as a child. And I would have been really young. What would I have been? 94. I would have been 6. Okay. So I don't know. It was weird. I'm like, this is not where you watch movies. What's happening?
Oh, that's so funny. See, I grew up in a town that had a drive-in, so that's all I knew. I didn't know theaters inside. I only knew drive-ins.
So wait, you didn't have like an indoor theater?
Nope. There was none in that town I grew up in. It was just a drive-in. Yep. They still have it.
Deprived.
I know, but I love it. I love the drive-in. I think my first movie there that I can remember was Jurassic Park. They made me lay down in the back seat for a lot of it. Because I was
like you were allowed to see it?
Yeah, they took me, my family. It's a whole family of us in this van watching Jurassic Park at the drive-in. Anytime scary parts came up, they were like, Megan, lie down in the back seat.
Alison Botha was born on September 22nd, 1967 in Port Elizabeth. She led a pretty normal life, and she spent most of her childhood living with her mom and her brother after her parents divorced when she was just 10. Alison was super confident and very well-spoken. She sounded like just a real kind of fun, energetic person. Mm-hmm. She had even been head girl at her high school, which very much gave me Harry Potter vibes.
I was just going to say that. I'm like head boy, head girl from Harry Potter.
Yeah. I thought that was just a British thing, but
I honestly did too.
maybe it is a South African thing as well. We do not have that in Canada,
There
or at
may
least on
be
the East
some
Coast.
British influence in South Africa, perhaps.
Maybe. Alison loved traveling, and she even spent some time doing that in her early 20s, but had now settled down in Port Elizabeth working as an insurance broker, which she actually really enjoyed doing.
Nice.
Yeah, from all accounts, she was pretty much just living her best life. When this story takes place, Alison was 27 years old. She had been out enjoying a great Saturday with her friends in December. They had all spent the afternoon at the beach and then met back at Alison's apartment to eat pizza and play games. They were playing the game Balderdash.
Oh, I love that game.
Have you played it?
Yeah, we used to play it a lot when my sister and I would go to my dad's to visit. We would pull out Balderdash. That was a good one.
It seems fun. I've always wanted to play, but I've never had anyone, like a friend that had it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't think I know anybody now. My sister has it, so we play it when I go there, but I don't know anybody else that has it.
Yeah. Well, there are new goals. I want to play Balderdash.
Okay, sounds good. Make it happen.
Alison had told her friend Kim that she'd drive her home that night after they were finished up. So around 1 a.m., she gave Kim a lift home and said goodbye to all of her friends. When she came back to her apartment, she realized she lost her sweet parking spot that was right in front of her building. So instead, she started driving around to find a different one that wasn't too far so she could still walk without any worries since it was pretty late. She ended up finding a spot not too far away, and it was under a really big tree. So the already dim, crappy streetlights were kind of blocked out, and it was really dark where she parked. Once she parked the car, she reached over to her passenger side to grab a bag of clean laundry that she had in her car to take upstairs to her apartment. But when she turned her back to her door, she felt a rush of warm air hit her.
Uh-oh.
She then turned to see that her driver's side door was wide open, and a tall, lanky young guy with blonde hair was standing there with a knife.
Oh, God. I always make sure that my doors are locked, always, until I am like, I have everything I need, and then get out of my car.
Yeah. I feel like most cars now are auto-locked.
You can actually switch it. So I have I personally have a setting in my car that can set it to either unlock as soon as I put it in park, or unlock as soon as I turn it off, or to unlock as soon as I pull the key out of the ignition. So I have it set to not unlock until I have the key out of the ignition. So I'll turn the car off and I'll get everything. I'll get my purse ready and stuff like that. And then I will look to get out. I have a paranoia. I have a slight paranoia myself, especially with all the stories that we listen to and all the stories that we do here. I have a slight paranoia all by myself. So I will look and make sure it's all clear before I pull my key out of the ignition to make sure I'm safe getting out.
Oh, ours doesn't unlock until you actually pull the handle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so if my husband and I are in the car and he's driving and I'm in the passenger seat, I actually can't open my door until he opens his.
I think I actually remember that. I was driving with you guys one day and I was like, I can't get out.
Yeah, nobody can get out. So none of the doors open until the driver opens their door.
It's hilarious.
Which on the one hand, I'm like, wow, if you had kids, that's a great feature.
True.
But also if you're trapped in the car with a psycho, less good.
Less good. But you can unlock it manually.
Yeah,
I was able
you can
to,
flip the thing.
Yeah, I was able to manually unlock your back door to get out.
So lesson learned, if I kidnap you, anybody out there.
It could happen.
You never know.
Absolutely.
So this guy told Alison to move over or he'll kill her. She described his voice as low and sounding very matter-of-fact. She didn't want to test if he was serious, so she just moved over to the passenger seat and he climbed in the driver's seat and started driving her car. After they were on their way for a bit, the strange man said to her, "I don't want to hurt you. I just want to use your car for an hour." Like most people in her situation, she wanted to believe that she was going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So she chose to just believe that as the truth.
Right, which we all know is usually something they say to give you peace of mind so you don't try to freak out and run.
Yep. She even offered him to just take her car and let her out, but he wouldn't let her leave. She thought about jumping into the car, but fear kind of just froze her into the seat.
Yeah.
The man called himself Clinton and told her that he had some stuff he had to do and he had to collect money from someone that owed him. He told her it shouldn't take too long and then he would leave.
What a weird situation. Also a weird thing to say in a weird way to like put that to somebody.
Clinton drove them to a main street in town and pulled up next to a man. Clinton called him Thunes and told him to get in the car and meet his new friend Alison. That made my skin crawl so much.
Seriously. Did he know her name? How did he know
he asked her when they were in the car.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. The trio then drove away from the main street and out to the outskirts of Port Elizabeth to a very deserted area. Alison didn't know much about this area, only that her family had warned her to stay away from it. When they stopped here, Alison knew something very bad was going to happen. Her intuition was giving her a full spidey sense. A trigger warning for sexual assault. If you don't want to hear that, then skip ahead a minute. The two men told her that they were going to have sex with her and asked her if she'd fight them. Alison had never been in a fight before and had no idea how to fight someone, even if she wanted to. Also, she was completely fearing for her life, so she told them that she wouldn't. The two men then both raped her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a sin. I can't even imagine.
No. Once they finished that, they actually tried to suffocate her, which ended up knocking her unconscious. They realized they hadn't killed her, though, so then they got frustrated, and they began both stabbing her.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Both men stabbed her repeatedly in the abdomen. I saw a couple different accounts of how many times they stabbed her, but it was between 33 and 37 times.
Wow.
Alison regained consciousness during this, and she specifically remembers that one of the men seemed like he was purposely trying to mutilate her reproductive organs.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so horrific.
Oh, yeah. And the fact that she was conscious the whole time.
Right.
Once they had finished stabbing her, they thought for sure she was dead. But then her leg twitched. So they decided they needed to take this a step further.
How do you take it a step further than stabbing her that many times?
Okay, trigger warning for a really graphic description.
Oh God.
But in all honesty, like the next 5 minutes is going to be pretty graphic.
Oh boy.
So just a heads up. This is the grimdark portion of the diaries.
Yeah, that's right. The palate cleanser at the end is the diaries.
Yeah, the diaries, the diary entries at the end. This is the grimdark portion.
All right, skip ahead about 5 minutes.
Yeah. So they started sawing into her throat.
Oh my God.
Ended up.
Where did they get a saw? I'm sorry.
No, they used a knife, but they were sawing into it. So they were sawing the knife back and forth.
No.
Sorry, I should have specified that. They used a knife to saw back and forth.
Oh my gosh. This poor woman.
So they slashed into her neck a total of 17 times.
I thought you were going to stop at 7.
17.
Holy crap.
So the worst part, Alison was still conscious.
No. Oh my gosh.
She described it as being able to see his arm moving above her face, sawing left to right. And every time he moved his arm, she heard what she described as a very wet sound.
Oh, could she not feel it?
She couldn't. She said she didn't feel the pain at this
Okay, well,
point.
that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Her body was in shock, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm going to add that to the list of worst possible sounds ever.
Yeah.
Hearing the sound of your neck being slashed open 17 times.
Being wet sounding. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she put more detail in her description, but I'm just going to go with wet.
Okay, yeah.
Which is bad enough as is.
It is, you're right. I guess you can look it up if you're interested.
Yeah. Alison was still fully conscious, and she felt like what was happening to her wasn't even real. She didn't feel pain at that point, and her brain couldn't fully make sense of what was happening. But at the same time, she fully knew what they were doing to her. So she felt like her brain was trying to take her out of it.
Oh, I feel like that's what shock does. It takes.
Oh, yeah.
Because how can anybody withstand that kind of torture being done to your body?
Oh, yeah.
And actually, I can't even believe that she was still conscious, though. Like, normally, people would pass out from the pain or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, oh my God.
No, homegirl was strong. Once they finished up that, Alison heard them step back from her and speak to each other almost like they were admiring what they had done to her.
Oh my gosh.
One of them said, "Do you think she's dead?" And the other one replied, "No one can survive that." The two men then got back into her car and drove away. What
Joke's
they
on
didn't
you,
realize,
bitches.
right? What they didn't realize was that Alison was still alive.
Friggin' badass, bitch.
Right?
Seriously.
This girl is a straight Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah, like hello, the amount of strength she has.
She obviously was a fighter to live through that. I can't even begin to imagine.
Right. Not only was Alison still alive and conscious, but she was still thinking critically. Wow. She was lying on sand, rocks, and broken glass, horribly injured, and she still thought to herself, I have to leave a clue about who did this to me so that they will be caught.
Wow.
The men, right?
That's quite the thought to have after all that was done to you.
Right. The men had kind of messed up, and when they thought she was dead, they used each other's real name. So Funes was one of the real names. They used his real one, but the one that said his name was Clinton, the one that originally kidnapped her. Yeah. His name was Franz.
Oh, okay.
So she wrote both men's names in the sand beside her, and then beneath that wrote, I love Mom.
Oh.
Yeah, my heart shattered into 1,000 pieces when I read that.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Because she's obviously got it in her mind that she's going to die.
Right. As Alison was lying there, she realized she could see the headlights streaking through the bushes not too far away from where she was. Remembering that this girl is a fighter, so she thought that if she could just get herself to the edge of the road, then maybe someone driving by would see her. She thought to herself that her life was too valuable to let go of, and that line of thinking gave her the courage to survive.
Oh, good for her.
Right?
Yes, girl. That is amazing thinking. I love when women have that kind of power with themselves.
Right? Super inspiring.
Yeah.
She knew that if she wanted to survive, that she just had to get herself over to that road. So she mustered what strength she had left to pull herself up and make her way there. But when she tried to get up, she started realizing the full extent of the injuries. When she started to get up, okay, this is graphic as well. Her head started actually falling backwards.
Oh my gosh.
Because they had nearly decapitated her.
How are you still alive?
They had somehow missed her major arteries, though, and she was still able to breathe through a severed trachea.
No way.
And somehow her aorta and larynx were not severed.
Wow, these guys do not know what they're doing.
No.
They failed anatomy class.
Right? So she reached up and used one of her hands to keep her head from completely falling backwards.
I can't. No, I can't. That thought alone is unfathomable. I can't even imagine having to hold your own head up because it was going to fall over.
Yeah. There was only one muscle left in her neck holding her head to her body.
And she wasn't paralyzed or anything? Like nothing?
No.
What the frig? That is amazing.
How insane is that?
I am blown away by this.
Right? I heard one podcast say that like she didn't really realize what was happening until she went to get up and all of a sudden she started to see the sky and was like, why can I see the sky? And then realized, oh my goodness, my head is falling backwards.
Oh,
because you wouldn't think that you're partially decapitated.
No, that thought would never go through your mind.
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's about to get grosser too.
Oh,
so
okay.
Buckle in.
How do I fast forward?
I'm sorry, Megan. You are in for the full ride. You have purchased your ticket. It includes all descriptions, all gore.
All right. La 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 la. Can't plug my ears with headphones in.
No. So as she's coming to this realization that her head is barely attached to her body, she also felt something slimy coming from her abdomen. The men had stabbed her so severely that they actually disemboweled her and her intestines fell out of her body.
No way.
Yes.
What?
So she used her other hand that wasn't holding her head onto her body to gather up her intestines, tuck them into her shirt, and hold them and her other organs in as best as she could against her body.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This poor woman.
Right?
Holy shit. I'm sorry. She obviously has every will to live to be able to do that.
Superhero.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I would be throwing up. I want to throw up thinking about it.
I don't do well with throw up. Do not throw up.
I won't. No, I know you don't.
I'm a sympathy puker.
Been through that already.
Yeah. So as Alison struggled toward the road, her sight kept fading in and out. She fell down a lot, but every time she did, she managed to get herself back up until she was finally able to reach the road.
Was she walking?
She was.
Shit, how? I can't, my brain cannot even imagine or fathom what this poor woman was going through.
Yeah, that's why she's survivor goals.
Right? Holy crap. Wow.
Even with all of this going on, she knew her best chances of being seen were to get herself to the white line on the side of the road. So she managed to make it there and then collapsed.
Wow.
Very lucky for Alison, she wasn't laying there long before a veterinary student named Tian Illard spotted her and pulled over. He was actually from Johannesburg and he was just in Port Elizabeth for a vacation.
Wow.
He was studying to be a veterinarian, so he called on his veterinary training, and when he found Alison, her thyroid was completely hanging out. So he tucked that back in.
Oh my gosh.
And called emergency services to come help them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he waited by her side holding her hand until they arrived.
Angel saving her life.
He later said that he felt that God put him on that road that night for a reason.
100%.
Alison was rushed to the hospital where she was clinging onto life. The doctors were completely stunned at how severe her injuries were and that she was even still alive. One doctor treating her later said that he had never seen such severe injuries in his 16 years of practicing medicine.
Wow. They really did a number on her.
Oh, yeah. She went through a ton of surgeries, but Alison was able to pull through and survive.
Wow.
Not only that, but she was able to remember every detail of the attackers.
Nice.
Police brought photo lineups into the hospital where she was still in recovery, and she was able to pick them both out right away.
Nice.
Right?
Excellent.
The media had actually dubbed them the Ripper Rapists.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And police were able to make a very fast arrest thanks to Alison's positive identification.
Oh, so glad.
Right?
Good for her.
The trial charging both men was very highly publicized across all of South Africa. Theuns Kruger and Franz de Troyes were each charged with 8 counts that included kidnapping, rape, and attempted murder. They told the Port Elizabeth High Court that the devil made them do it.
Oh my God, please.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wow. Not that that's going to do anything for you in a defense.
No.
Seriously.
I also read, I only saw this in one source, so I don't know how true it is, but I'm including it because it's pretty wild. I read that the morning after the attack, the men used the bloodied knives that they'd slashed Alison with to literally butter their bread.
What?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that was in one news article. I can't even. I can't.
Maybe there is some sort of, illness there.
Maybe.
Yikes.
They actually both pleaded guilty, and in August of 1995, both were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Good.
Right?
Thank God.
Judge Chris Jansen said he wanted to make it very clear that they were both a threat to society and should never be released.
Good.
Even after the men were convicted, Alison still had a ton of healing to do, both physically and emotionally.
No doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. In order to fully recover, she decided that she wanted to face what had happened to her and not to just try and forget it. Alison started traveling around the world to tell her amazing survivor story in over 20 different countries.
No way.
Yeah.
Good for her.
She was one of the first South African women to ever speak publicly about rape, both at home and abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Her doing this helped other survivors to also come forward and tell their stories to start healing from their trauma.
Amazing. That's so amazing.
I read a lot that she was able to help a lot of people come to terms with their trauma.
That's amazing.
Although the attack on her was absolutely horrific, Alison recognizes that because of it, she gets to help inspire others to survive. So she's able to kind of find that, glass half full side to it, that she went through that and she was strong enough to make it through. So now she's helping others.
A very bleak silver lining.
Yeah. In 1995, she won the prestigious Rotarian Paul Harris Award for Courage Beyond the Norm.
No way.
And she won the Femina magazine's Women of Courage Award. She was also honored as Port Elizabeth's Citizen of the Year.
Amazing. Good for her.
Well deserved.
Very much so.
Yeah. Alison went on to write 2 books about her story and about survival. And in 2016, her story made it onto the big screen in a movie called Alison.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I've never heard of that movie before.
I hadn't before this either. It's a documentary that has interviews with Alison, and she recounts fully what happens to her, and they do some reenactments. And then they talk about her life after the attack and her healing and all the work she does.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the description sounded nice. She said that she wants it to be documentary with reenactments, but also aspects of a fairy tale.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure how they incorporate that, but it sounds like it's really good.
Yeah, I'll have to see if we can check that out.
Yeah. Alison has been praised as an exceptional motivational speaker, not just because her story is so inspiring, but she's also just amazing at sharing a message of inner strength and hope. One person that watched her speak at a packed rugby field said, quote, "She speaks right into your heart and you feel like you've known her all your life. I felt that I could see it in everyone around me too." End quote. Alison takes a lot of pride in being able to share her story. She says, quote, "I have always hoped that by sharing my own journey with others, it would give them hope and courage of their own. Life can sometimes make us feel like the victim. Problems and hardships and traumas are dished out to all of us, and sometimes they can be divided very unfairly. Remind yourself that you do not have to take responsibility for what others do to you. Life is not a collection of what happens to you, but of how you've responded to what happens to you." End quote.
Wow, that's a pretty awesome quote.
Yeah, everything I read about her speaking is that everyone loves listening to her speak. Like, she's very well spoken and very motivational.
Very impactful. Like,
right?
Her words kind of hit, especially if they resonate with you at all.
In other happy news, even though the men had destroyed a lot of her abdomen, and she was worried because it seemed like one of them was targeting her reproductive organs, she was still able to give birth.
No way!
Yeah.
Yay, congratulations to baby and mommy.
Right? In 2003, so it would be 9 years after the attack, Alison gave birth to a son named Daniel.
Aww.
And then 3 years later, she had another son named Matthew.
That's amazing. I'm so
Right?
happy for her.
To make it even more wildly full circle, the man that found her on the side of the road, Tien, he was studying to become a veterinarian when he found her. But I read that after that night, he switched to become a medical doctor.
No way.
And he even delivered Alison's second son.
No, he did not.
How wild is that?
That's so amazing. Oh,
Right?
I love that story.
Right?
That's amazing. I love that he saw something like that and decided to make a change and do something where he
Right.
would have been able to help more, I guess. I don't know if he
Yeah.
could have helped more.
Help
than
differently.
What he did. Just help differently, yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Put
and
his
to-
focus on humans.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, I love that.
Right?
I love that he delivered her second child.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
One thing, just to like bring the room down, one thing slightly less good.
This is a roller coaster. I
shouldn't have ended on this. I'm realizing now, the way I wrote out my research, I'm ending on this really not good note.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Whoops. We're back to the grim dark part of the diaries.
Well, we are who we are.
Yeah. Megan, start thinking of a palate cleanser to cleanse everyone from my
Shit, I don't know.
palate cleanser afterwards.
Okay.
So, one thing slightly less good is that the possibility of no parole was removed from their sentences.
Why?
I guess I read an article that all prisoners sentenced prior to October 2004, they changed it so that they are now all eligible for parole.
What? That is so stupid.
I don't know. It seemed like some kind of government decision. I'm assuming somebody new came in power or something. I have no idea.
Fair. Trying to
I don't
help out
know.
a friend.
I don't know why you would just blanket change that. That makes literally no
No, it
sense. But I
doesn't.
didn't look into it any further. So.
But you know what? I have no doubt in my mind that this girl is going to be a badass bitch again and just bring all of her friends and everyone else who was affected by this into the courtrooms if they ever tried to get parole.
Well, the problem is that what I don't like about that is that every time, because you would be eligible for parole, I'm not sure what the rules are in South Africa, but every so many years you would be eligible to apply again, and there would be a hearing, which means Alison would have to go to that hearing every time.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that before from survivors, that it just eats away at the rest of their life because they can't just be done with it. They have to keep going back to the hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, way to bring down the house again there, Nikki.
I know, right? And then wait, this is gonna get it gets shittier.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
What have you done?
So Franz actually contacted the director of her film. So they were in the process of filming, and the director's name is Uga Carlini. I think that's how you say it. Uga. Okay. So Franz actually contacted the director from prison and said that he would offer them an exclusive on-camera interview with him for their movie in exchange for a signed letter of forgiveness from Alison.
What?
And backdated profits from her book and her motivational talks.
Come on.
I'm not even joking with you.
Seriously. Hopefully they didn't go for that, did they?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
they declined
thank
that
God.
offer.
Okay, well, you never know with, the movie business, really. Like,
Yeah,
they might
hard
think
no.
they might think it would get them more views or whatever you call it for movies.
Yeah, that's when I read that I was like, wow, you are
that's
just literally the slimiest human being, like scum of scum.
Scum of the earth and beyond.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so both of these scumbags will get to repeatedly apply for parole, and Alison will have to attend the hearings. I tried to find updates about their parole. She has a website, and the last update I could see was 2015. So I don't know if that's the last time they were eligible and they haven't been eligible since. I'm not sure, but she has a section on her website that says parole, and you can go there, and she basically is like, hey, please sign a petition and write letters and don't let these people get parole. This is what they did to me.
Yeah. Well, good for her for sticking to her guns. It sucks that she's going to have to be dragged through that again and again over however many years, but
yeah.
Oh, that's so awful.
Right? But let's circle back around to how great Alison is, and holding your decapitated head on and your intestines in the other hand.
Absolutely
she's
badass.
A super woman.
Yeah. Definitely belong. This could have been a bonus action story if it wasn't so damn long. Although your bonus actions are usually pretty long anyway.
Brevity has never been my strong suit.
No. No, and I did interrupt you quite a bit, so it's fine.
That's fine. It's fine. We also talked a lot at the beginning, but I'm drinking a salsa right now, so my tongue's a flapping. My husband and I decided at one point we wanted to make a new saying. Don't ask me why we decided this. And so we decided that if somebody was talking a lot, we would say, "You're flapping like a two-mouth fish." And it's like we want to make it happen. We want people to say it. So everyone, please take that home with them. And if somebody is talking a lot, be like, geez, you're flapping like a two-mouth fish over there.
Why?
I think we were in the car and we heard some radio story about a two-mouth fish and we thought it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
So then one of us said it to the other, and now we say that when one of them just won't stop talking and we're like, oh my goodness, you're flapping like a two-mouth fish over there.
In a not so graceful saying, my brother a lot says, "Shut your flapping skull cave."
Oh my goodness.
So if you're feeling a little less nice.
Skull cave, that's a new one.
Yeah. He likes to say that one to me a lot, actually. Apparently I talk a lot.
Oh jeez.
This is why
I've never heard skull cave. Sometimes I'll say your cram hole.
Cram hole.
Yeah, like cram it in your cram hole.
I've never
meaning
heard
your
you
mouth.
Say that. I mean, I figured that's what you meant.
Just to clarify.
Never heard that one.
Well, you see, there was your palate cleanser. Everyone please make flapping like a two-mouth fish happen. My husband and I will be really proud. Take it into the world. Make it a thing.
Make it a thing.
Yeah, we want to hear someone say it one day that we don't know and be like, oh, it worked.
We started that.
Yeah, we started a thing.
I absolutely cannot not picture a two-mouth fish now.
Right? And it was a thing. It was on the radio. Somebody caught a two-mouth fish.
Really?
Yeah, that's where it started.
I didn't know that.
It was a while ago. We've been saying it for a while. It clearly hasn't caught on. It's slow to start.
You're not getting it out there enough.
No, but now it's time. I forgot that I
right.
had a platform where I could declare things to a mass number of people.
That's right. And here we are. We're better for it,
Yeah, so our double fish mouths have been cleansed.
Now I feel like that's what you and I are. Double fish mouth.
We're just each a mouth of a fish.
That's right.
I want to be a cute fish, though.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there wouldn't be anything else.
No, I want to be one of those ones at the bottom of the ocean that has the little light on his head that are terrifying. I changed my mind. I want to be that fish.
What do they call it? Nightcrawler? No.
Cuttlefish.
Oh, cuttlefish. I don't know.
Which sounds like cuddle, so you think it's going to be cute, but it's not.
Absolutely terrifying looking fish.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
I think it's time for you to roll that die.
I have the die in my hands. All right, here we go. Shit.
Is it a 1?
No, but it's a 3. What is this one? Swipe right for murder.
Oh, that's a good one. I wanted that one.
Oh, too bad for you. Now it's mine.
Oh, you're going to find so many good stories.
I can't wait. That's actually not good for me right now since I am on dating apps.
Okay, now you got to save that story for next week.
No.
We're going to learn all about Megan's dating app adventures next week.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I don't have any stories, but yeah, I probably could have stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, swipe right for murder.
Start swiping for next week.
That's exactly what I want to research right now. Immediately leave all the dating apps.
Yeah. Also, when I wrote that title, I have never used Tinder. Tinder came out when I had already met my husband, I'm pretty sure. But I don't actually know what way is yes and what way is no.
I think right is like swiping right. I always heard that in
Is that
like
good?
Yeah, I always heard that in a positive way. Like you're swiping right because you want to connect with the person, I think.
Oh.
I've
okay,
never used
so I
Tinder
made it
either,
swipe
so.
right, yes, murder. Okay.
Yes,
got it.
That actually works. It's
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. No, that one
Yeah.
was good. It worked out well. All right. So I guess that's going to wrap up this episode. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to follow us on social media, I think you all know where we are, but you can find us at the Grimdark Diaries on Instagram and Facebook. And on Twitter, we're just Grimdark Diaries. No the, because there was a character cap. If you want to send us an email, we are at thegrimdarkdiaries@gmail.com. And if you're listening to us right now on an Apple podcast, we'd love it if you gave us a 5-star and a rating, because that will help us be found a lot easier on the algorithms. We would love that. What other podcast platforms that you might be on, if you have the ability to follow or subscribe or whatever you can do on those, we would absolutely love the support from you guys. Thank you so much. So thank you again, and join us next week to see what I come up with for Swipe Right for Murder. And remember, a friend in the dark beats alone in the light.